Princess Anastasia. Once upon a time, there was a mighty kingdom called Phrygia, which belonged to the good King Marcus. He loved his subjects and would always strategize and discuss ways to make the lives of the people of his kingdom better. Not only was he a good king, but he was also a great husband and a father too. He loved his wife and their only child, Anastasia. But his chief advisor, Phyron, hated the good king and slowly started to influence the ministers and the knights to revolt against the king. When the right day came, he seizes the king and the queen and ordered them to be taken away and locked in the jails.
You treacherous traitor! No! I am the new ruler, the great King Phyron.
Anastasia, run!
Grab the princess.
The guards ran after the princess, who was then only 5 years old. But strangely, the princess disappeared into thin air. They came back to Phyron. Fearing the merciless ruler, they decided to lie to him about the girl.
Your Highness, the princess was trying to cross the river when she drowned in the water. Good. The only heir of Marcus is now gone. A kingdom now belongs to me. Only me.
For years, the evil Phyron ruled as king. The people of the kingdom were unhappy, starved by the ridiculous taxes imposed upon them. But somewhere in the outer edges of the kingdom, Princess Anastasia grew strong, learning karate from her master to take revenge.
Great! Your training is now complete. You're ready to go to Phrygia now.
Thank you, Master. Later, in the marketplace of Phrygia, a soldier began to harass a little girl. Before he saw what was coming, a heavy punch hit him in the face, and he ran away. It was the Princess Anastasia. As she turned to leave, the little girl said,
"Wow, that was amazing! You are a superhero!"
And with that, Anastasia disappeared into the night. But the little girl told many others of the hero courageous enough to defy the evil king. She continued to attack the evil king's soldiers whenever she could, and the people of the kingdom thought they finally had a savior and called her Super Asia. It did not take long for the news to reach ears of the king.
Who is this Super Asia, and what does he want?
Sir, Super Asia is a girl.
You mean to say a girl has created this havoc in my kingdom?
As Phyron spoke with his advisors, the Minister of Public Health, General Henry, was thinking.
If Minister Henry could tell us when and where she attacks, it would be a great help for us to strategize her capture. I agree.
She only appears after the sun sets. Over the last few weeks, a lot of our soldiers have been attacked at sunset. It seems that she would attack anyone who is part of your administration, Your Highness.
When Henry was returning home that night, he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around at once and saw Princess Anastasia. He immediately grabbed her hand and looked into her eyes and smiled.
Princess Anastasia.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
Ursa Major. Your birthmarks under your eyes are in the shape of the constellation.
Anastasia's eyebrows arched, and at once she moved like the wind and attacked him, and he fell on the ground.
My brother has taught you well. The day you had run away, my brother Louis left Phrygia to the edge of the kingdom. It occurred to me that perhaps he had rescued you, and the rumors of Super Asia and her grudge towards the royal administration reminded me of that dark day. I am relieved to see that you are alive.
They both got up. She studied Henry for a long moment. Why are you working for that evil king?
Louis and I had vowed to protect King Marcus and his family. But Phyron had planned everything very carefully. When the king and queen were imprisoned, I was given the choice to either serve Phyron or be imprisoned forever. I thought that if I was alive and outside of the prison, I would someday be able to free them. Hence, I adopted to join his ranks. My brother, however, did not know of my intentions. That's why he left with you and never told me about his whereabouts. Ever since that day, I've been looking for opportunities to get the king and queen out, but I have been unable to. And now you are here.
I want my father and mother out of the dungeons. If you are loyal to them, prove it. Tell me how to reach them.
Mr. Henry explained to Anastasia that Phyron alone had the key to her parents' cell. So to release them, they would need to overthrow the evil king.
Phyron is always surrounded by the royal guard, except for once a year, when he puts on a stage play to reenact the treacherous night that he betrayed your father. Phyron loves to remind people every year that he is their great king. He plays himself on the stage, but presents himself as a great warrior and a benevolent leader. He opens the play alone, and then later the other actors join in.
Mr. Henry told Anastasia about the day and time of the play. Anastasia smiled, and in a few days, the day came. People unwillingly gathered near the stage in fear that to refuse the invitation would mean the evil king's wrath. The king's counselors and knights took the front seats, and the play started. But when the curtain opened, the audience was shocked. Phyron was tied up and was lying on the stage, while Anastasia sat on the throne.
Is that part of the play?
Hey, that's Super Asia!
Just then, Mr. Henry got up on the stage and said,
This is it. The end of the reign of Phyron. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your long-lost princess and the rightful heir to the throne, Princess Anastasia.
The crowd cheered in happiness.
Stop! You think you'll capture our king and we will sit quietly? Guards, go catch her!
Bring it on. I will teach you all a good lesson. And while we dance in the stage, my father and mother are already being freed from the prison. And you all will face the wrath of the true king.
Huh? What?
Drop your weapons and kick them away.
Helpless, the soldiers and the ministers did exactly that. Anastasia whistled.
You deceived me.
Need I remind you how you took over our kingdom?
I should have gone after you myself. My biggest mistake was to think that a little girl could do me no harm.
Yes, that was your biggest mistake.
And thus, Phyron and his men were put into prison. Anastasia was reunited with her parents. Mr. Henry was reunited with his brother, and the people of the kingdom were once again happy. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment.